Hello there. This is a short, or maybe not short. This is an answer to a comment that I got from a viewer called Alan-BX9LB. And from now on, I refer to them as Alan. So they asked me a question today, and I think it's the second time they asked me this question. And I'll read out what they've written. I will tell you what I think the question is asking, and my interpretation of it. And then I'll give you my answer. And that'll be the whole video. So the question that Alan asked was, if you're all competing against each other, why let your competitors know what you charge? And then the last bit, I find that funny with 3 question marks, which is excessive, I think, but fair enough. So I think what Alan is asking me there is, why do I personally share the prices that I get jobs for off the CX, the actual amounts of money that I charge? And if that is the question that he's asking, that's what I'm going to answer now. And I'm going to do a bit of a ramble, because in my mind there's never a simple answer to these questions, and hopefully I'll remember everything that I want to say. So the first thing that comes to mind is, the reason why I say the prices is because I want to help people who are starting to do this job, who have no idea what they can earn in real life. Because it might be that you think you can earn more or less than what you could earn. And even that's not particularly accurate, because I'm only showing what I'm earning, as if you go back to the start of the videos, from a reasonably new same-day courier. So it's not even what you can earn, it's what I earn, which is an indicator, if nothing else, of what the market is like for someone doing the job like I do. And we're all unique people, so you might not do the job like I do. You might have other priorities or other ways in which you prefer to work, other competing needs in your life. So I share as much information as I feel I can by being open and transparent about my days, as a way of sharing what it's like in real life on the road as a same-day courier. Some days are great, some days are short, some days are bad, some days are long, etc. And that's my first answer. It's meant to be supportive and guidance for other drivers, for drivers that are less experienced. Once you've been doing the job for a few months, so I would say 6 months to a year, you kind of know what you want to price based on where you live and where you want to go. It's probably for those drivers who are just about to started for the first few months. Okay, second point is, it's about this idea of competitors or competing. I don't see necessarily it's a competition between me and the other drivers. I certainly do think it's a collaboration between me and the shippers, people who are giving the work out, but only the shippers that I want to work for, so the people that are fair, professional. Those shippers that are unfair or unprofessional, I don't want to work with them. They are effectively competing for my time and attention. They are competitors. When it comes to drivers, I actually don't see other drivers as competitors, genuinely. I would say that I would see drivers that I would regard as being unprofessional or deceitful or dishonest. I think they are people I would find as being competitors. So somebody who is late to pickups and does co-loading without permission, doesn't get insured properly, someone whose attitude is not customer first service based, I think that I'm competing against them simply because they are going to underprice what the job is really worth. That's where the competition is. It's people doing the job for less than it's worth because they cut corners. they are my competitors. But I never know who they are, really. Those drivers that are on the road doing a good job as best they can, they're not my competitors, they're my colleagues. They're out there doing the job properly, giving drivers a good name, making the industry work for self-employed drivers. So how can I regard those drivers as being competitors for me? It's very short-sighted to think of them as competitors, I think, in my view. Okay, I better specify, this is just my perspective and how I look at the job. Obviously, you'll have your own views about how this job should be done and how you want to see it. So I'm not saying that what I do is right, but it's right for me. I know what my values are, I know how I want to work, I know how I want to be as a person, and I found out that in this industry there are plenty of people that share those values. And the next point I want to say is, so maybe the point of the comment that Alan made is, why do I give out my price so that someone who's in the same area as me can bid a bit less? Well, I thought about this before I started my videos, and I thought the actual chance that there's somebody that knows the price that I'm bidding at the time that I'm in the place that they're also bidding is so remote for a number of reasons. First of all, when I give you my information, it's always after the fact. I mean, there is, always, even when I do the sort of live days, my videos come out after I've won the job, even if it's just, or at the end of the day. So it's not like I'm giving a video out and then I'm waiting for someone to underbid me because they know what I've been on that particular job. That just never happens. So in actual fact, no information that I give will get in the way of the job that I've bid on. But you might think, well, if you do a job from, let's say, Hull to Portsmouth, let's say, or whatever, Hull to Birmingham, and you say how much you pay, then the next person that goes there will know, oh, that job from Hull to Birmingham is X amount. Well, doesn't affect me because I'm not in Hull the next day or the week after. And also, every day is different. The pricing doesn't depend on what. The key thing here I want to get across is the pricing that I win or lose jobs at has got nothing to do really with me. It's much more to do with external factors like supply and demand. You know, so even if you could glean that on a Tuesday I won a job for £100, doesn't mean on the following day you'll get the job for £90 or £95. And so not only am I not going to be in the same place the next day or the next time I get that job, let's say someone does try that tactic. They follow me around. Let's say someone is, for whatever reason, following me around closely around CX and sort of tracks where I go, and then they bid at the same time as I do, deliberately to try and undercut me. Well, that is never going to happen for a start. But if it did happen, I might lose a job. I lose a job every single day. I must bid on about 10 to 20 jobs at a time. Maybe sometimes I'm lucky. Maybe the lowest end is 3 or 4 jobs and I get a job. But even at my best days, I don't get 2 out of the 3 that I bid on. So that's 2/3. On the worst days, I get 1 out of 20. So there's 19 other people that have won that bid. So it doesn't matter whether I lose a bid to somebody who knows what I'm bidding or doesn't know what I'm bidding. It's the same outcome. I don't get the job. And the thing is, do I get enough work for me? And so far, I think I do. The way that I work is producing an income that means I can live off it. I have to be a bit nuanced still about how I do my work and what I choose to do for a variety of reasons, but everyone has to do that. So I just do not see any correlation between me publicising the job prices and me winning or losing work. if I didn't publish what job prices and did this job, I'd be experiencing exactly the same outcomes. The only way, I think, would be if somebody was, I suppose, if I was doing a regular job for a regular shipper that was obvious, and they knew what the price was, but I don't have that situation. So, I mean, if I had a regular job every day from the same pick up and drop off, maybe I wouldn't do it in the same way. But I'll have to make a decision at the time. That's not the situation at the moment. I'm working completely off the CX, and so for me, it's just a non-issue. So I've answered, I hope, why I don't believe I have competitors in the same way as Alan's comment would suggest. I've answered the thing, I don't believe that statistically it's an issue for me. No one's going to actually steal jobs from me. If you think about it, every job I win, someone else has not got. So I've won a job off somebody else every time I win a job. So every time anyone wins a job, there's 20 or 30 other people who haven't won it. So statistically, that always happens anyway. You always get underbid. The only difference here, I think, is Alan is saying some people would know what you're bidding and therefore underbid you, and they would know what you bid. Well, I don't believe that happens. And if it did happen, I'd never know about it. So if I don't know about it, why would I worry about it? And then the last point I want to just reiterate is pricing is just so variable. There's so many factors that go into pricing. I'm one small voice in this industry, quite irrelevant, and I have a certain tactic, a certain way of doing pricing, and other people could do this job in a very different way. I think that's everything I wanted to say about it. I don't worry at all about competitors in that respect. Take a word from me. I focus on myself and what I can do, and maybe another reason is I'm quite small. I'm just a single owner driver. I'm not trying to win customers. I'm not trying to sort of build a business. So for that reason, it's much more lower stakes. I'm not trying to win jobs for a colleague who needs to get extra work. It's just me on the road bidding for myself. Okay, so there you go, Alan. I hope that answers your question, and feel free to follow up with any further questions on it. Cheers, farewell.